The Soundpeats Mini Pro is one of the strongest releases of the year so far when it comes to budget true wireless earbuds, and now we have a brand new release, the Air3 Pro, and I'm going to be comparing the two today, and we're going to get straight into it. So right off the bat, these guys have got a lot of similarities but many differences as well. I'm going to break that down for you today. Let's start off by having a quick look at the key specifications, and these both have hybrid ANC along with transparency modes. They've both got a gaming mode as well. We've got Bluetooth 5.2 on both earbuds, but the Air3 Pro have now got the brand new Qualcomm chip 3046. Both pairs have got aptX adaptive along with standard aptX, AAC and SBC when it comes to those connection codecs. When it comes to battery life, again, quite similar overall when you compare the two. So you have got a total of 6 hours with the Air3 Pro and then 7 hours on the Mini Pro, and both cases are giving an additional 3 to 4 charges, so 24 hours overall on the Air3 Pro and 21 hours on the Mini Pro. So pretty decent battery life overall. These advertised times are with ANC off, so you're going to get a reduced playtime if you are using that mode. So like I said, the specifications are pretty much matching up. A little bit of a newer chipset for the Air3 Pro. Great to see the aptX adaptive on both, so you have got that HD codec if you can make use of it, and pretty much all your latest connection codecs as well. So good stuff across the piece there. And really the big differences start to come when we talk about the design of the earbuds themselves. Clearly, as you can see, the Air3 Pro, we've got that stem style design, and with the Mini Pro it's that classic bud style. Now in many ways these are very different. So with the Air3 Pro you're getting a slightly deeper fit, and for me a slightly more secure fit, owing both to the deeper earbud style and the fit, so it's going further into your ear canal, and also that stem giving that additional comfort within the ear. And when it comes to the Mini Pro, I did cover this in my original review, but they're a bit more of a shallow fit overall, and for me they didn't fit as well. Overall, you know, I didn't have too many problems. They were secure enough, but I just wasn't getting as much of a deep seal with the Mini Pro, whereas when I compare that to the Air3 Pro, I'm getting an almost perfect fit and seal, and they're very secure. When it comes to the charging cases, again, quite similar, but the Air3 Pro is a bit smaller and a bit slimmer, a bit more pocketable. And with the Mini Pro, you're looking at a slightly chunkier case overall, but both of them are a very reasonable size, very portable, so no issues there from me. So before we move on to talk about some of the performance on these earbuds, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and hit the like button today if you do find the review helpful, and check out all my other reviews if you are interested in true wireless earbuds within the budget to mid-range market. We've got videos coming out every week, and I'd love for you to join us as we check out many exciting releases coming up soon. So with all that said, let's talk about the ANC and transparency modes. Now again, the similarities here are very noticeable, very apparent. So both with the transparency and the ANC, I'm ranking these as sort of a middle of the road in terms of the performance and the quality that you're getting here. In terms of the transparency mode, quite impressed overall with both in terms of the strength that you're getting out of the transparency mode. A very noticeable lack of white noise when that mode is on, which isn't something you can say about a lot of budget earbuds at this price point. but you can hear your surroundings. I would like to hear more. I'd like a bit more volume there, and that applies to both. But overall, I was really impressed with how they perform on transparency modes. And with ANC, again, as I outlined in my Mini Pro review, you're getting surprisingly good ANC for the price. It is cutting out those low rumbles, cutting into the mid-range a little bit, but don't expect too much at this price point. It is doing an effective job. However, there isn't any wind noise reduction, so if you're using these out and about, that might be an issue if you're using them in windy locations. So all in all, very decent for the price on both transparency and ANC. And then when we come to talk about sound quality, this is where both of these products really start to shine. Now, I've done side-by-side testing on these two products, and I've tried to identify the differences. The first thing to say is that with the Mini Pro, you are getting a slightly wider soundstage and just a little bit more clarity when it comes to the treble and the mid-range. The difference is quite small, but it is noticeable. On the other hand, the Air3 Pro is almost bringing a more direct and in some ways powerful sound, which is more suited to genres such as electronic, hip-hop and dance music. The bass at times is deeper and more impactful than on the Mini Pro. So if that's something that you're looking for, then I would go with the Air3 Pro in terms of sound quality. But in terms of the Mini Pro, you are just getting that wider soundstage, and just it's a bit more of a musical tuning. Both of these have got that Soundcore signature, which is really kind of bringing that dynamic sound. It's nothing new. It's a tried and tested formula. It's really, really enjoyable. But like I said, for me, the Mini Pro just giving you that little bit more in terms of clarity, soundstage, and detail, essentially, when it comes to the sort of the whole dynamic range. Now, the one drawback with the Mini Pro, unfortunately, is that there is a bit more of an EQ shift when it comes to switching into the ANC mode. You are losing a bit of that sub bass, a bit of that bass impact. Whereas on the Air3 Pro, they've almost eradicated it completely. If anything, there's just a tiny difference when you go into the ANC mode again with the bass. You just lose a tiny bit of that rumble, but it really is virtually unnoticeable, which is fantastic to say they've got it to that point. And it's an improvement over the Mini Pro in terms of that sort of EQ shift. But all in all, both of these options are fantastic. It's going to come down to probably what do you prefer in terms of style of earbud, what do you prefer in terms of sound signature, and also, what you're looking to use these for. They both carry an IPX4 rating, so there is some waterproofing there, but not a pair you'd want to be certainly submerging or getting particularly wet. And then again, with call quality, fairly similar, nothing to write home about, but acceptable. It's doable to take a call. And finally, just to wrap things up then, the Soundpeats Mini Pro is currently out there on the market, available on Amazon, etc. These are both coming in around the $60 mark. The Mini Pro have been out for a number of months now and available at Amazon, etc. In terms of the Air3 Pro, the wider release hasn't happened yet, but they are available on AliExpress should you want to pick those up early. But do keep your eye on this channel, as I will be publicising the full launch of the Soundpeats Air3 Pro. Do hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on that coming up soon. And with all that said, again, two fantastic products. Highly recommend both. Just going to come down to your own preferences and your sort of usage case at the end of the day. Please do hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and leave me a comment on the video. And with all that said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.